From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 1962, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 29, 2015. After being released in Australia Monday, April 6, the foil party balloon called PS-41 has achieved the longest range in Project Picospace and has circled the globe. Skeeter Nash in 5ASH.
This became official on Thursday, April 16th, as PS-41 crossed the 144.903-degree longitude, marking a completion of its epic voyage. Brian Pliatsios, VK3GR of the WIA News, reports.
The latest solar-powered, helium-filled balloon, PS-41, launched by Andy Nguyen, VK3YT, on April 6, has a HF payload transmitting 25 milliwatts on the 30-metre and 20-metre bands, sending whisper spots and JT9 telemetry. This high-altitude balloon took a path over Tasmania, then south of New Zealand, the southern tip of South America, directly over the South Georgia and southern Sandwich Islands, well south of Africa, and back to Australia, where it began. While south of Tasmania, it abruptly changed course instead of heading straight across its initial path. Andy Nguyen, VK3YT, says the balloon PS-41 tracked extensively via JT9 by a network in VK, ZL, South America and South Africa and Ireland. Whisper spots have been received all over the world.
The emergency medical evacuation of a sick radio amateur from Pagasa Island was delayed for several days after a Chinese naval vessel reportedly harassed a Philippine Air Force patrol flight.
Leo Almazan, WA6LOS, a member of the Mabue DX group, told Interoccasion.com they had gone to Pagasa to set up an amateur radio operation and to test a portable solar power system. They were also to conduct a small-scale medical mission, as one of their members is a doctor. Over the weekend, one of the team members, Chito Pastor, WW6CP, came down with a kidney infection from drinking the highly saline local water after the supply of drinking water the ham radio enthusiasts had brought with them ran out. The morning of Monday, April 20th, Almazan said the Philippine Navy was getting ready to send an Islander aircraft to fly Pastor off Pagasa for medical treatment. The Mercy flight was canceled after a Chinese frigate fired an illumination round on a military patrol aircraft. Although the rescue aircraft was later cleared to fly to Pagasa on Wednesday morning, it developed engine problems and would be delayed. He had received another message from Navy headquarters. It said that a civilian aircraft had been cleared to fly the medical mission on April 23rd. This would be the latest in a long string of run-ins over the Spratlys, where China has embarked on an aggressive reclamation and construction spree on disputed islands and reefs.
The FCC has initiated a proceeding to amend its rules of organization as it applies to amateur radio licensee address information that's routinely available for public inspection. Specifically, the FCC proposes to revise its rules to specify that past amateur radio licensee address information will not be routinely available for public inspection. To implement this change, the FCC proposes to remove from public view in the universal licensing system an amateur radio licensee's address information that is not associated with a current license or pending application. Current licensee address information would remain public. Comments on WT docket number 15-81 are due by June 16th. Reply comments must be filed by July 16th. One of the highlights of the Dayton Hamvention is running into some out-of-this-world people. Case in point, astronauts.
According to Carol Perry, WB2MGP, astronaut Mike Fink, KE5AIT, will be coming to speak to her Dayton Hamvention Youth Forum. Also, the American Radio Relay League is sponsoring her 8 young presenters to attend a lunch with him afterwards. They will be joined by other young hams chosen from the audience. WB2MGP's Youth Forum is scheduled for Saturday, May 16th from 9:15 to 11:45 in Meeting Room 2 of the Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
Astroham Samantha Cristoforetti, IZ0UDF, is in orbit and won't be at Dayton, but you can see her on Twitter. Here's Heather Emby, KB3TZD.
Friday, April 17th, she shared a selfie on Twitter taken on board the orbiting space laboratory. In it, Cristoforetti was dressed as Captain Catherine Janeway of Star Trek Voyager, with a tiny ISS pin in place of the traditional chevron. Over her shoulders, through a viewing window, is the SpaceX Dragon cargo craft that delivers supplies to space station crews. The text of her tweet is an in-joke that fans of the Voyager series will recognize. In the 5th episode, titled The Cloud, when Janeway is told there's energy in a nearby nebula, she quips about her favorite beverage. Followers were giving thumbs up to her selfie, saying that she looks a lot like the famous Delta Quadrant pioneer of Starfleet.
Samantha Cristoforetti is aboard the ISS to perform several scientific experiments in the space station's microgravity laboratory. Her team's study is part of the Futura mission, which was launched November 2014. She'll return to Earth in mid-May. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for over 37 years and counting at www.arnewsline.org. For Skeeter Nash, N5ASH, Brian Playatzios, VK3GR, and Heather Imby, KB3TZD, I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW 73. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.